Are you tired of being successful in interviews? Do you dread landing that next exciting role? Then here's my 5 tips on how you can become the master of interview sabotage. Number 1, turn your elevator pitch into a complete dog's breakfast. You know when they ask you the question, so tell me a little bit about yourself? Well, it sets the stage for the interview. And if you want to successfully crash and burn, then make sure that when you answer this question, you follow these 3 rules, all right? Number 1, give long, rambling answers that are vague and have nothing to do with aligning you to the role that you're interviewing for. Number 2, make sure that you talk about your entire career history. Basically, you're going to recite your CV. And number 3, go off on tangents. Use lots of personal information, including that funny rash you just developed. Remember, nothing screams being unprepared more than stuffing up this question. Tip number 2, do not research the company. You want to turn up completely unprepared because you're gonna wing it as you go. You want to demonstrate that you have little or no genuine interest in working there. The less knowledge that you have about the company, the role, and the industry, the easier it's gonna be to create a bad impression. Strategy number 3, embrace the power of cliches when talking about your greatest strengths. When asked about your skills, make a focused effort to use as much cliched phrases as possible. The cheesier, the better. Things like, hey, I'm a really good team player. I'm able to work autonomously. I have the ability to think outside the box. I'm a great problem solver. I am results focused. And I have the ability to multitask and prioritize. Now, these skills sounded great back in the 90s, but they seem pretty empty now. I think they need to make a comeback and be part of every interview you attend. Remember, you want to sound like everybody else. Okay, my next tip. Talk over the interviewer. If you're tired of making a great first impression, then here's how to completely change that, all right? Here's the secret. Never let them finish their questions. That's right. Unleash your eagerness and simply talk over them. Show them who's boss of this interview. Now, my last tip is this. Never have any questions for them. At the end of the interview, you're going to be given the opportunity to ask them questions. Avoid the temptation to ask them things like, what opportunities are there to grow in this role? What is the reason this position has become available? What are the challenges you are currently experiencing in this team? And potentially, what do you like about working here, especially if you want to find out a bit about the culture? Now, most people who are aiming for success are going to ask these questions. But that's not you, is it? Nothing says, I'm not interested in working for you, than not asking any questions. However, if you do have just one question to ask, make sure it's this. How much am I going to get paid? So, go out, bust out these killer strategies, and I guarantee you that you are going to totally crash and burn in your next interview.